Hello, Gary Champion, Psychic Medium. This video is a little different from things that I normally do. Um, it's called The Final Frontier is Us. I was sitting at a table, our dining room table, when the first Star Trek episode came on, 68, I think. I could be wrong. And heard that opening thing about space, the final frontier. It's a 5-year mission of Starship Enterprise to seek out new life and all that stuff. The final frontier. And sitting here this morning, that flashed back on me, and I realized how stupid that is. Final frontier is not space. Final frontier is us. We don't know anything about ourselves. And the marvelous things we're capable of that we so rarely do. And I'm going to give you one this morning. The only difference between being sad and depressed and being happy is you. Oh, it's very interesting. My phone just came on asking if it can help. I don't think so. I've never seen that before. New phone. Happiness is a state of mind, and you can hardwire it into your brain. You can choose to be angry and depressed and a pain in the butt your whole life, or you can, the brain can be rewired. I wrote this in several books that I wrote about how to rewire the brain, things like that. The brain is full of electrical circuits, really. And when you constantly do things that make you depressed, you're wiring your brain for that. Those are firmly fixed wires that carry that thought. And they become hardwired after you've been depressed and lonely and angry and for a long period of time, even a short period of time, your brain becomes permanently rewired. When you're young, the brain is stretchy, it's flexible, it's elastic. That's the word. So you can easily rewire your brain. Start doing only happy things. Think only happy thoughts. Stay away from depressing people. Don't listen to any of the crap that they're fostering. In short, change everything in your life. If someone depresses you, don't ever see them again. Easy for me to say, but I've done that. Nothing should get in the way of you being happy. Your happiness should be at the top of your list. And if you spend all your time making other people happy, you need to learn how to do it for yourself. Because it's easier to make other people happy than it is to make yourself happy. That's over there. Mothers do it all the time. They cook their favorite meal and make a birthday cake. They take them to the zoo. Often while depressed and feeling lonely and left out and all these things. But no one's being fooled by it. Your kids know. If you think they don't, you need to ask them, what's wrong with mommy? And they'll tell you you're always sad. So, and now I'm just saying this, but it does take effort to rewire your brain to be happy. You've wired it to be unhappy, and it's a lot harder to unwire it and rewire it than it is to just continue to go along being depressed your whole life. the way out of depression is happiness. And the sooner you begin to, if there's no happiness in your life, then you need to create some. You need to go places that make you happy, be with people that make you happy, do things, find a job that makes you happy. And then that hard wiring of being depressed is still there, but the brain makes new circuits for happiness. And eventually the depressed circuits that lead to depression minimize. They become less, they become secondary. And the primary wiring is happiness. No, I'm not making this up. Scientists agree with me. Look it up. So the difference between being happy and sad is you. And you can claim it's other people. You can blame them for why you are the way you are, but really you're hanging around them. So you're here, not they did this. It's here. You chose that person to marry that wasn't right. You chose to live in a neighborhood of certain people. You go to meetings of things that are depressing. You watch depressing movies. You read depressing books. Pretty sure you're depressed all the time. Well, how did this happen? Somebody must have done this to me. No. You didn't slap your hand when you picked up that depressing book or watched that depressing everybody got killed movie. You allowed it to play. And part of it is that that's your normal. This depressed state is your normal. And wiring your brain for happiness requires a lot of effort. And if you're not up to it, what can I say? Be depressed. Go down your little depressed road. But try not to depress anybody around you because it feeds on other people. And people listen to you. You say, well, she was a bad woman. She did all these things to me. Well, you kind of allowed it. In every instance, you either picked that person to be with, thus knowing who they were, creating the environment in which you live. Try choosing someone who's upbeat and happy and has a happy job and everything is happy. Some people it comes naturally for. Children seem to be happy all the time until, as adults, we push our sadness and depression on them. Don't do this, don't do that, don't be this, don't be that. And pretty soon they're just as screwed up as we are. Stop doing it. Anyway, just a thought this morning. Stop blaming other people for why you are the way you are if you're depressed. You are the final frontier, and anything is possible. We don't need to go to space to find aliens with green faces to make our lives meaningful. Well, that hadn't happened yet. Perhaps I'll do a video sometime of all the strange things I've seen in space. But that's not today. And seeing those things create a certain amount of happiness in themselves. But I get up every morning trying to set some kind of a challenge for myself to do something interesting, happy. I don't make these videos because they're sad. I make them because I'm trying to help people, and that's always good. You can't go wrong with that. But I can't help other people if I'm depressed or angry or upset, and I'm blaming other people for why my life is crap. It's hard to do any kind of job like that. which is why some careers are short term. Psychologists always, they're dealing with bad stuff all the time. They don't hear good stuff. People don't come in and say, oh, my life is so wonderful. I don't need any help from you today. I'm perfect. They hear all these sad tales about how someone did something to them, which is a lie. You allowed it to happen. You have the power over you. You invited it in. Shut the door. Don't come around. I mean, you're going to have fewer friends. It's worth a sacrifice to me. Or maybe you have no friends. If I'm happy, I should be happy with that. It's a self-destructive behavior. And I've done a lot of thinking about self-destructive behavior lately, trying to make sense of things. And anything we do to us that diminishes us as people and spirits is self-destructive. You might do it once, but to continue to do it, you say, oh, well, that's hurting me. That's bad. I won't do that again. It reminds me of the time I made pizzas in college. I would have to stick my hand in that 2,000-degree oven all the time. The hair is gone, the skin is baked. That's self-destructive for a paycheck. But it was a fun place to work. Everybody was upbeat, and we were all in college. We were all having fun. So that's two different things there. And I knew that eventually I wouldn't be making pizzas. So some things can be double-edged. They can be positive and negative at the same time. I say if the negativity of something outweighs the positiveness of it, then avoid it. Making pizzas was fun. We joked a lot. We had a lot of fun. We met interesting people. So the positive part of that outweighed the scorching of my arm. You're responsible for who you are, not all these other people. If they've been hurting you and you continue to let it happen, that's your fault. That's not their fault. If you don't pay the electric bill and the lights go out, oh, it's the electric company. Those terrible people. No, you didn't pay the bill. The consequences are all yours. You can blame other people. But that just continues the cycle, because when you blame other people, you don't see that it's you. You see it's them, these evil people. So wise up. And a good place to start is to look at everything in your life that is negative and see where it came from. See who started it. And extricate yourself from whatever it is that's creating these negative things in your life, which creates depression and anger and blaming. Most people don't want to blame themselves. They're not going to take the hit for that. I'm going to take the hit for, I did that to myself. That was self-inflicted. They're not going to do that. It's always easier to blame somebody else. Get you off the hook. You've done a lot of self-destructive things and can't blame yourself for it. You're living in a strange world in denial. Go into the light. Accept responsibility for all these things that you allowed to happen. Shut them down and move on in a happiness manner. The happiness factor is very big around here. If it's not happy, we're not doing it. So be informed, figure it out. It's your life. You can go sit and talk to a psychiatrist for 40 years. They're never going to explain it to you. No fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching.